All right. Shalom. All praises be to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakodash. The bonds to our apostles, a great millstone that rule with honor and with diligence. Honestly, brothers out there pushing this truth and love and sincerity to wake up the elect. Peace be to the elect and their families, those that change according to the word, calling on the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai in the time of trouble. We say, peace be unto you, and may the Lord have mercy on you in these evil times that we're living in, which these times are extremely evil. So be continuous in prayer that, the Lord has mercy. Hebrew word for mercy is chasadim. Chasadim. Yeah, this is just a quick, just a quick video. I was meditating on this scripture. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 3 and verse 18. It says, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. And being great in this truth, being a great man. Being a great man in this truth is a very, very humble position. It is a position that is earned by trials. It's a position that is earned by mistakes. And through all the trials and the mistakes that you endure, coming into a position of leadership or a position where you receive more power in the camp should always be received with humility. It should always be received with the greatest amount of humility, because leadership positions or higher positions in the truth come with higher level demons. And if we enter into these higher level positions in the wrong spirit, we can become subjects to those demons, as the manner of many are, as we've seen over the years repeatedly. People come in that camp humble, and they come up and they start getting in positions of power, and not being qualified as a person to have power. What happens? They start to abuse that power. I'm not going to say that you're all going to be qualified before you receive some type of power or position in this truth, but the scriptures speak about marking the perfect man. And if anybody has ever met the apostles and the majority of leaders in this truth are extremely humble men, and they have never, to my experience, put out a position of pride, even on the high level that they are on. I've never witnessed them speak from a position of haughty and proud spirit, man. So we can't say that, that they've dealt us that spirit to deal in. The scriptures say man sin when he is tempted. What is that? Salakia. I'm gonna just pull it up real quick. I don't want to misquote. This is James chapter 1. In verse 13, it says, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. And that's the likeness of these great men that the Lord set up over us. You know, even though there's a difference between trying your spirit and tempting you. You know, your spirit is tried to see what manner of man you are. You know, that's your spirit is tried to see where your weaknesses are and to help you grow them. You know, so sometimes you're put on trial to see what manner of man you are, and if you have usable material in this faith. You know, but to be tempted is a man tempting you of evil, is somebody putting a vice that they know that you have a weakness for in front of your face that's going off. You know, verse 14, it says, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Women tempt you, you know, but the men of the Lord try you to purify you, to help you to grow through certain situations. Everything else in this world tempts you, and you can only be subject to that temptation if you commit the act that you're being tempted. You know, so the Lord tempted no man to do evil. You know, man is tempted when he is drawn away on his own lust. You know, so in saying that, a lot of men get in these positions of power, and they may have in their past life experience, they may have been experience being excluded from certain from certain societal groups, or being an outcast. In most instances, being an incel. They may have never had the opportunity to be over anything in life, you know, and especially something that is pure. You know, it's easy to be over something evil. All you got to do is be like everybody else. You know, broad is the gate that leadeth to destruction. You know, but straight gate, the difficult gate, is the gate that enter into life. So we have to understand that when we come into these positions of power, we have to understand that, first of all, these men that are under us don't belong to us. When the scriptures say, if any man what if so, like, I'm gonna look that up too. My mind is not working at the speed I would desire it to at this present time, but it's okay. The Lord gave us, you know, the materials to be able to look it up. Yeah, it's Satan. Now it's totally skipped my mind completely. But, Lord's willing, it comes back. But we get in these positions of power, and the scriptures say, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. And in these positions of powers, you gonna make mistakes, and those mistakes you make are meant to humble you, or meant to keep you humble. If you have the ability to be humble. A lot of us had made mistakes that we thought we was doing the right thing. For instance, Paul, when he was Saul, the Lord said, well, why persecutest thou me? When he was persecuting the church, he thought he was doing what was right. So it wasn't out of malicious soul. So the Lord was still able to use him. So, we may do things in this truth, and we may overstep, you know, because, we all, first of all, we're all debtors, you know, until you how Bashim Yahushua, we're all made subject to vanity. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say there's none that do it good and sinneth not. So all these things that we experience in Salakia, all these things that we've experienced in all these things that we've experienced in missing steps and falling and making bad decisions, or making decisions that were presumptuous and spur of the moment, and allowing this flesh to enter into certain things, presumptuously. You know, when we understand that, that we made a bad choice, you know, to a sincere man, it's gonna cause you some pain. It's meant to cause you some pain. Why is that? Because that pain that you've made from overstepping or making a bad decision is there to keep you humble, to as a reminder to keep you humble, so you can know that, hey, if I'm being in this position, if I go off, the Lord can really hurt me. To whom much is given, much is required. So if the Lord gives you a position of leadership, He's going to require a lot more of you spiritually. So that means that you have to become more reserved. You have to become more regal. You have to become more wise in your decision making, and you have to become less self-willed. You know, or otherwise, what'll happen? These, you get in these positions, and you're not checking yourself because you think the Lord is with you, in which He is if He put you in this position. But the thing is, you have to be constantly on yourself. Anything that is received with pride, you got to check your spirit. Anything that's being received in the spirit of, yeah, I'm better than everybody else. The scriptures say comparing thyself against thyself is not wise. But it's being put in a position of leadership in this faith is really you being the overseer. We was just looking at the Ranger School. They had this obstacle course where you had to climb this ladder rope, and at the top you had to sit there and wait for your battle buddy. And if he's getting weak, you have to be there to help pull him over the top, and climb down together. Because you can't leave him. You can't leave him by himself. If he falls, that's on him. If he fails, that's on him. But until that happens, you can't leave him by himself. Or else you become what we used to call a buddy effort, in another sense. But so in this truth is you being given a position of power is for you to be a help unto other brothers under you, to help them to come up on another level, to help them to be able to teach other men also, to help them to graduate to the next phase. But it's not for you to flex your power around on everybody. Now, in certain circumstances, you may have to show authority, but that has to be taken in with wisdom too, because you don't want to over exert yourself on anybody. You may have a stronger spirit than certain brothers, so The scriptures speak about knowing the state of your flock. You know, you got to know the mental state of the people that are under you. You got to know which brother can handle certain things, which brother needs this certain push in this direction, which brother needs to be told about himself harshly, or which brother you gotta kind of like lessen up on him and talk to him. You know, so you got to know the state of your flock. A position of power in this faith is not something that you're supposed to hang weight on everybody else with to bear you. You know, yeah, they're supposed to respect you, but you earn that respect. You know, you don't just earn that respect by hopping and screaming at people. You earn that respect by being the example. That the example of a upright man in the faith. You know, people get in these positions of power and it goes to their head, and then Satan comes in and overthrows them. You know, because why? They didn't come into that position in the right spirit. You know, hey, we was out in Houston. You know, we had a beautiful time out in Houston, by the way, with them brothers. Man, bless those brothers. And out here in Dallas as well. We're back in Dallas, and we've just been having a wonderful time down here in Texas with these brothers, man. A beautiful spirit, you know, out here, you know, among the brotherhood, man. It's, you know, it's a blessing. It's truly a blessing to be a part of this faith and this ministry, and to go to other churches and see the beauty of the brotherhood, you know, and you know, meet men that you feel like you've known all your life. You know, it's a tremendous blessing, man. These brothers have been really looking out for us, you know, and we appreciate all these brothers. I just wanted to say that, but you know, yeah, we was down in Houston, and you know, Apostle Ricard has this joke. He has this joke he tells, you know, brothers. You know, he said, yeah, D-man, so I'm going to push you up to a 5-shield general. And when he said that, I was like, oh, Lord, let me prepare my mind to face those demons. And he kind of laughed. He kind of chuckled. You know, we kind of chuckled about it. You know, we laughed about it because understanding that with power comes demons. With power, with more rank and power in this truth becomes a higher level demons. So the first thing that should hit you is fear when you give them the position of power. The first thing that should hit you is, you know, the fear of the Lord, because, you know, that's what sifts people a lot of times. Pride puffeth up, man. People get put in positions of power and they start smelling themselves. And then eventually Satan come in and overthrow them. You know? So coming up on levels is always there to be received with humility, because you're gonna have to face heavier battles. You might lose certain things in your life that you hold dear to you. You know? You know, your woman may leave and take the children. You know? You might lose your house. You might, you know, the Lord might put you in some discomfort. You know, people grow better when they're going through painful situations. It's true. Con. It's okay. That was Pastor Ramlab. Yeah, but you know, you know, when you're getting pushed up into these positions, you have to prepare your mind mentally. You have to prepare your spirit. And then you have to greatly humble yourself. Receive every position with humility, because people receive these positions with and they get to smelling themselves. And then next thing you know, they become complete tyrants. You know, because the spirit ain't filling them. Everything's not flowing. Things are not flowing. So what happens? You know, they begin to throw their shoulders around and buck and kick because they're not in the right spirit to receive that the power that they've received. They didn't receive it with humility. So what happens? They end up kicking themselves out the truth. You know? So we have to realize that, when the Lord puts us up on levels, you know, okay, it is a beautiful thing for brothers to grow in the faith. It is, and we will want brothers to grow in the faith. I'm sure the apostles would agree with that. But when you get put in these positions, receive them with humility. You know, don't let your pride, or your arrogancy to grow and lead you in those positions. But you got to overthrow pride, the pride that comes with positions. Or else what happens? It always ends bad. It always ends bad. So that's pretty much all I want to say, man. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself. These positions, they come with heavier demons, heavier battles, heavier afflictions. So there's no reason to be proud, but receive the positions with humility, and the outcome will always come out better. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Akakodash. Double honors to our apostles, a great millstone. Honors to you brothers out there pushing this word. And hopefully this video recorded. Hey, Shalom.